Hi, everyone. It's Rosalie Dudana here from The Purifying Place. I am a spiritual life coach, a Reiki master, and I help women decondition from all these subconscious limiting beliefs that they may have imprinted on them throughout their human experience and create meaningful life and transformation and living in alignment with their soul blueprint, and helping them actualize, the desires in their heart, in their life, and turn that into just this meaningful existence that brings joy, that brings love, that brings abundance, and helping them just um, carry this out in all areas of their life. It's just for radical self love and transformation and acceptance. And all this happens when you can live in alignment with your soul. But welcome to Align and Thrive, my mini series here on Happy Healthy Women. And I wasn't here last Friday; I was on a family trip, but I'm so glad to be back this evening, recording this video for you since I'm not able to do lives yet on Facebook. Um, but the topic for today, I really wanted to talk about is why you keep abandoning yourself and how to finally stop. Um, this is a topic that is near and dear to my heart that because I've gone through this, and is something that I think we can all benefit from learning and hearing and reflecting on for ourselves to see where we land in this situation or in this concept, and really reflect on ourselves on how we can become aware of this to release this wound. Um, but yeah, let's see, self-abandonment. Um, we're going to unpack like why we do it, how it affects the nervous system, our energy, the relationships that we have, and then we're going to talk about like how to stop betraying yourself, how to stop abandoning yourself and begin showing up for the real you. Because, this act of aligning with your soul, um, in order to do that, you have to stop abandoning yourself. You can no longer just kind of silence yourself and say, I'll do it later or not right now. um, the alignment happens in this present moment. But we cannot do that if we're abandoning ourselves. And so every time we choose someone else's comfort, someone else's priorities, someone else's truth over our own, um, and in that process, silencing ourselves, dimming ourselves, saying yes to everything we want to say no to, that is self abandonment, right? Um, we might feel, this knowing that we're supposed to say no, or that, a boundary's been crossed, or something alerts us and we say yes anyway. We ignore the signal. We continue to um, take part in something we know we're not supposed to or we don't want to. So it's not always and it's actually more often very subtle. So it's a little bit sneaky, right? We don't even realize we're doing it, especially since it's so ingrained from childhood, right? We're kind of conditioned to believe like think about as parents, and we have to be aware of this too, is, if our children express emotion or even annoyance or whining, or we automatically say like, we're not everybody, but some of us, I know I'm guilty of this too, is like, stop whining or be quiet, or kind of, you know, we don't even realize the words that we're using kind of convey this message of change who you are. So I'm comfortable, right? So we're all ingrained with that conditioning. And so we kind of learn at an early age, we need to not be inconvenient to people. We need to not be too much. We need to um, put our truth to the side. Otherwise, we won't be accepted or we feel unsafe. And we adapt with that, right? So we often become like the good girl, the good boy, the fixer, the peacekeeper, the person who is always there for someone, puts our needs last, right? And well, what's the cost of this? It's you abandon yourself. You put everyone else before you. And this can happen for me. This happened for many, many years, honestly, up until my 30s, just not many years ago, where I just kind of once I went on this full process of healing and returning to wholeness, I realized um, this is the fear that I had for so long was actually me doing it to myself, which was abandoning myself over and over again, um, in the name of connection, in the name of wanting people to see me, in the name of wanting people to love me, whether it would be friends, family members, romantic relationships, and yeah. So I guess once you become aware of it, it's a lot, I don't want to say easier, but you can actually fix it once you're aware of it, right? Um, so let's go through some examples of a few more examples of like self-abandonment and see if these resonate. Some of them might be, we already said, saying yes to plans that you're not physically or emotionally available for, or that are gonna drain you. Like that for me, that was a big one. I was going to things with people who I knew were just gonna complain about everything or gossip, and I knew it was gonna be draining. And I still would reason it in my brain, like we reason it in our mind somehow why it's okay. I'm just gonna go to this. Like these people care about me. Otherwise, I'll be alone, or I'll enjoy the company at least, or the food, or whatever it is. You reason it in your mind why it's okay to go to these events, and even though um, deep down there you shouldn't be going to these, um, and then in the process of that, you might become resentful of these relationships because you're participating in them, you're not fulfilled in them, you're abandoning yourself to take part in them. And so, you're going to feel some resentment towards these relationships. Another example is you kind of let other people's opinions, you give those more weight than your own, right? You don't trust your own um, ideas or your own opinions or your own thoughts about things. You give weight to other people's ideas more than your own. And you ignore your body's cues. Like your body might feel exhausted after hanging out with certain people. Maybe it feels tense, or maybe you have that gut feeling like I shouldn't do this. And instead of honoring that signal from your body, you override it. You say, I'll do it anyway. It's okay, I got this. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna push through. And I know personally, like I did that for so long, to the point of just not just burnout, but like sickness. Like I couldn't even get up out of bed, I couldn't function. And that's another thing that kind of really jump started my healing process. But um it's our body's way of telling us like something's not right here and we need to pay attention. But again, instead of, what happens is we get into our mind and we almost, in a way, not only do we abandon ourselves, but we also like judge ourselves immensely. We say, like, oh, well, like for example, if I didn't want to go to something that I knew would drain me, your mind well does this, it can play tricks on you. It's like you not only reason why you should go, but then you judge yourself for not wanting to go. You're like, "What? Why didn't you wanna go? These people have invited you into their home, and they're so kind to do that, and, why would you say no to that? They're just being friendly, like, you should be grateful." Like, there's so much judgment, right, that goes in with this abandoning, process as well, and, again, just bringing the awareness of what's happening in these situations is the beginning of a choice, of a decision to choose something different, to create a different reality for ourselves, a different experience. And I guess something you can kind of reflect on, a question, or maybe you can journal on this, is where in your life are you betraying? your truth. Where in your life are you betraying yourself, betraying your truth? Is it to be accepted? Is it to be liked? Is it to be approved of? Is it because you're afraid of being alone? Kind of reflect on it and see what comes up. You can also ask yourself, what is, if I had to get rid of one relationship in my life, what's the one relationship I know I have to let go of to step into the next level of me, into the next phase of who I'm becoming? Um, I know in the past when I've done that, it was very obvious who this person was or what the situation I had to let go of was. And it's just so interesting how we've always known, but because we reason it so much, it can escape us, or I guess it's not escaping us. We kind of shove it away, right? We don't want to hear it. We don't want to listen. But as soon as you make the choice, um, and you have the awareness, you can shift, right? So, um, again, when we abandon ourselves, it doesn't just impact our mind because see all that stuff that goes on in the mind when you abandon yourself. It almost just becomes kind of dizzying, like you know what your truth is, but it's becoming so distorted because of the judgment, because of wanting to fit in, because of all this stuff, and it just gets so mixed up. And not only does that create distortion in your mind, but also in your energy. And because when you say yes but you really mean no, then there's this discrepancy, right? um and you're suppressing all these emotions, these feelings, and they're not able to be processed because your body's shouting at you. I mean, I guess it doesn't shout at first. It kind of tells you with a gut feeling, or maybe a little heaviness, or a little being a little bit tired. And every time we kind of suppress that, it just it manifests as something bigger, right? To be heard, or because it wants to be seen, it wants to be processed. And for me, and I know for a lot of people, that kind of manifests as anxiety, burnout, overthinking, depression, even, or depression like symptoms, feeling disconnected either from reality or from your intuition, having a lot of indecision or self doubt, feeling lost, stuck, ungrounded. That was a big one for me, super ungrounded. Like I was just felt so floaty and disconnected because we're disconnected from ourselves, right? Um, and this energy in our field becomes almost like it becomes blocked because think about the places in your chakra system, like your throat, your heart, your sacral, and your solar plexus, right? um those kind of connect to the truth of who we are, right? We have, I guess all of them do, but think about like your sacral, where you create and you have your power. Um and then, I mean, in your solar plexus, where you have your free will, your person, your self identity, and then your heart, knowing who you are, and your throat, speaking your truth. All of those, all of the energy there kind of just becomes compromised, or becomes distorted or scattered or blocked because of you not recognizing and seeing the truth there and allowing that energy to flow. It's like you kind of you choosing not to listen to your truth is creating this chaos in your energy field. um, but I guess the last thing we can talk about, or the next thing, is coming home to you, coming home to who the truth of who you are, and making the conscious choice to do that, because that is powerful. That is like just the best feeling in the world when, you know, abandoning yourself for so long and then finally making the choice that I'm not going to do this anymore brings so much peace, brings so much energy, brings so much joy. And it might not at first, it might feel kind of scary, it could feel lonely, it could feel like, am I doing this right? Is this the right decision for me? So there are going to be, it's not always going to be smooth, but ultimately know that it's the best decision. It is the best decision. Um, but yeah, some practices that you can practice to do to help you with this are practice listening to your intuition or your inner guidance system, and just tune into your body and yourself and ask yourself, like, what do I feel in this moment? What do I need in this moment? And what is true for me right now? Right? Just practice tuning into yourself, which does require you to slow down, to check in with yourself, to pay attention to what's coming up either in your body or bringing awareness, right? It's all about bringing awareness. And, when we self abandon for so long, sometimes we are so out of tune with doing this because we don't listen to ourselves. We're so busy prioritizing everybody else's needs that this takes practice, right? To get to know ourselves again, and practice understanding what our body needs. What do we need? What does that sound like? How does it show up? And just becoming more familiar with the communication with yourself, right? And then number two, witness without judgment. So when you notice yourself kind of slipping back into those old patterned ways of self-abandonment, just bring the awareness. Notice, huh, I am, I know inside I don't want to do this, but I said yes. And this will happen. And instead of kind of judging yourself and shaming yourself and saying, oh, I did it again, um, have compassion for yourself, release the judgment of yourself, and recognize the fact that I have awareness of it means I'm shifting into a new reality, into a new space, and I get to choose. I get to choose something different for myself now, and then choose it. And then even if that is calling that person back up and saying, you know what, I know I said yes, but actually, um, I can't make it. I'm so sorry. Like, I'm letting you know ahead of time, but right, and correcting it and aligning in the present with your actions, because and I've had to do that too, and I still have to as I walk this path, because we will make mistakes. Although, will we you have the choice when you're conscious and aware of, oh, that didn't align and I said yes. Am I going to just continue doing that then and continue old patterns? Or am I going to walk the aligned path? Am I going to um, do what I know is right for me in my heart? And that's not always the easy thing, right? Because walking this spiritual path does it takes courage sometimes, and after a lot of time. And I think I've mentioned this before, it's really, I see it as like a warrior's path because it requires courage, it requires going against what is familiar, it requires um seeing things in a new way, exploring new horizons and things we're not familiar with, so it can feel scary. um and yeah, so in that moment, in that awareness, choose something different for yourself. Next thing, number three, speak your truth daily. And if this is difficult, just speak one truth a day. If you're so stuck in just people pleasing and all this, like, at least you can focus on, can I say one true thing today? Right? Just start with one, even if it's small. Like if somebody asks you how are you doing and you say I'm okay, maybe it could be I'm tired today. or I'm mad. And allow your voice to speak your truth and get used to how that feels, what that sounds like, and hear the resonance in your voice when you speak your truth. It's just there's something about it. You'll notice a shift, right? When you're speaking your truth because and people can sense it too. Your energy is just it's integration, right? You're aligning with your words, your actions, your everything is aligned. Your energy is all lining up with full integrity, and that's powerful. That's the resonance. It's all harmonized together as opposed to dissonance, right? Your body might be saying one thing, your soul, your intuition's telling you something, and you're operating out of action in this other sense. It's chaotic. It's um again dissonance. It doesn't harmonize. But when you are in full integrity with who you are, with how you speak, what you do, and what you think and what you say, it just becomes so clear, your energy. But yeah, practice telling your truth, saying your truth. And I think I talked about this before in one of my classes, but if you cannot speak your truth, then just choose silence. Even better, like if you are not quite there yet where you are speaking your truth, then choose silence. Choose um, to say nothing. All right. And then from there, then you can shift to speaking. And number four, reparent yourself, reparent your inner child, and allow yourself to feel safe. Because, and I know for me too, this has happened where I'm aligning with my truth and it can feel scary because we're so used to operating in our conditioned self or our old pattern beliefs. And your nervous system is like, what are you doing? This is not what we normally do. You're going to get in trouble. This is not safe. And it can literally feel like death, like you're something terrible is going to happen to you. And when you know, so some people might feel that and think, oh my gosh, I'm doing it wrong. See, I shouldn't do this. This is a sign. I should just go back to being, people pleasing and all this stuff. This is wrong. But when you understand my body is feeling like this, my nervous system feels like this because it's unfamiliar. It's not what I'm used to. It's not what kept me safe before. And now it's scared it's going to be unsafe. Although I consciously choose this aligned decision for me now. And, parent your inner child and say, I see you. You're safe. You're allowed to have those feelings. I'm who I am now. I'm this many years old. You are safe. No. And then kind of parent yourself and say, this is my aligned decision with my soul, and I'm choosing to do. I am worthy of taking up space. I'm worthy of following my truth. It is safe to choose what is right for me. Whatever you need to kind of parent that inner child to calm your nervous system, do it. And then take aligned action. And yeah, I know this is not always easy. And for me, it was like certain things I can think of. It's hard. You literally feel like you're gonna die. Like, oh my gosh, something terrible is gonna happen to me. But I've done exactly what I've just said. Right? Take deep breaths, parent myself, soothe my nervous system, take the action, just take it, aligned action, and then recognize after that was powerful, that was the right decision, and it becomes easier with time, with practice. Number five, ground into your body. Um, so when you abandon yourself in that process, like I said, it's very much in here in your mind because it comes along with judgment, it comes along with self-doubt, it comes along with worry about, oh my gosh, do people like me? So it's a lot up here in your mind. Um, so grounding really helps pull us back down into our body and helps us be in tune with the messages that are coming in through our body and also just ground us here on earth, ground our energy, ground us, help us feel centered again, and helps us keep, attuned to the messages that are coming through that in our body as well. And um, yeah, there's like a whole other energy thing I could talk about feeling grounded and receiving energy, but that's for another time. But ground is another great thing you can do to help you with this. And yeah, I guess for closing, just I want to leave you with the message, like, and you can affirm this with me right now if you want. Just place your hand over your heart and tell yourself, like, and whisper or just say out loud, I choose me. I trust me. I will never leave myself again. I love that lesson. And tell yourself, I will never leave you again. You can even say it in the mirror, right? And just feel how that feels in your heart. For me, I just knowing how it felt to not leave myself anymore, not abandon myself anymore. You just I don't even know how to explain it. It's just beautiful, right? And be your own best friend, be your biggest advocate, love on yourself, and recognize like that's the love that we're searching. We've had it all along, right? We're busy giving it to other people. Um, and from this space of never leaving ourselves again, we create the abundance to then give to others, right? Um, but yeah, know your truth is not too much. Your needs are not a burden. And your soul is not here to be silenced. It is here to be seen. It is here to be fully expressed. And it is here to lead, to share your gifts, and recognize you are worthy of taking up space. You're worthy of being seen. You're worthy of speaking your truth. And I just wish you so much support and guidance on this journey of self acceptance, of returning home to your wholeness, to yourself, to love, um, and know that you're not alone in this. Know that all the years you spent abandoning yourself, it doesn't mean there's something wrong with you, it doesn't mean that you failed. Just know the awareness of it now is enough to return things to a state of wholeness and realize you were never broken, you were never too much. You were perfect and you are perfect just the way you are. And yeah, I hope this message resonated for you and this was helpful. Um, again, if you need any help along your journey, I am here to help. Again, I'm a spiritual life coach. You can find me at The Purifying Place on Instagram or at my website at thepurifyingplace.com. But yeah, until next time, I hope you found this helpful again. And if there's any questions, you can leave them in the comments or message me directly. And this topic is so near and dear to my heart. Hopefully, this resonated, and I wish you luck on your journey. I know we'll all return back to the truth of who we are, and we're all just on our own timeline. Um, but know you're not alone, and there's help and support out there for you if you need it. Okay, take care. Bye.